welcome back to Bugs, our family Sunday school series. Insects are awesome! Let's see which insect we are talking about this week.
Hi guys, welcome back to Stewardship. I have a special guest with me today. This is Isaac. Isaac is a baby. And what we're talking about today is something that Isaac knows a lot about. That's right, you guessed it, diapers. A baby like Isaac will use over 7,000 diapers before they learn how to pee and poop on the toilet. And diapers are one of the most expensive things about having a baby. So this week, talk to your mom and dad and see if you have any diapers or baby supplies that you can donate to the local food bank. We'll see you next week.
This is for the kids at St. John's. He's got the whole world in his hands. With my lovely assistant doing ASL signing for each of the bugs. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the fuzzy caterpillar in his hands. He's got the fuzzy caterpillar in his hands. He's got the fuzzy caterpillar in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the beautiful butterfly in his hands. He's got the beautiful butterfly in his hands. He's got the beautiful butterfly in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the frisky little firefly in his hands. He's got the frisky little firefly in his hands. He's got the frisky little firefly in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the busy little ants in his hands. He's got the busy little ants in his hands. He's got the busy little ants in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the beautiful ladybug in his hands. He's got the lovely little ladybug in his hands. He's got the beautiful ladybug in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the hoppy grasshopper in his hands. He's got the hoppy grasshopper in his hands. He's got the hoppy grasshopper in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the pesky mosquito in his hands. He's got the pesky mosquito in his hands. He's got the pesky mosquito in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, sister, in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. God bless your day.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm out here with my apple trees. We're going to talk about the most kind and helpful insect that there could possibly be. Can you think of which insect it is? Let's listen. Did you guess it was the honeybee? When you hear the words kind and helpful, do you think about honeybees? Well, let's go visit my friend Paul, the beekeeper, and find out all about these amazing insects. Good morning, everyone. So I'm here today with my friend Paul, and he's a beekeeper. So we're going to talk all about bees today. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
So tell us a little bit about your bees.
Okay, well, I have 5 colonies, so each of these boxes represents a colony of bees. And we're up in my orchard because bees are very helpful in pollination or getting fruit trees and vegetables to reproduce. So we need bees because without bees, we wouldn't have any fruit, and we wouldn't have any vegetables, and we wouldn't have any greens, and eventually the animals wouldn't have anything to eat. So if the bees die, we as a human species will eventually die. That's why we need bees. And what I do with bees is collect honey. As you know, bees manufacture honey. So they're flying out to all the flowers and all of the fruit trees, and as they're landing on fruit trees, they're collecting pollen, and they come back to the hive with 2 back legs with saddlebags filled with pollen that they go in, and that's what helps them make the honey. Now within each colony, there are 3 bees, 3 types of bees. There's only 1 queen for that entire box, and then there are her helpers, or the female worker bees, and then there are the male bees who are called drones. And the drones have, the queen bee, have babies. So she's developing and hatching babies on a continuous basis. And a bee's life is very short. It's only 6 weeks. So in that 6 weeks period, that bee has to grow up and do a lot of things. And each bee is assigned a job. So there will be a guard bee on the outside. There will be cleaning bees that help keep the hive clean. There will be the queen bee's attendants who give her royal jelly or her feed. And there are undertaker bees, so when a bee dies, they usher her outside of the colony. And that's what helps the colony work. So our primary purpose in keeping bees is for our health and for honey. Now, to help me, I use several things to work with the bees. One of the things that I'll use is sugar water, because they like sugar, and if the bees become agitated, I can squirt them with sugar water, and they're busy licking the sugar water off of themselves or others, and that settles them down. The other thing I use is smoke. So smoke confuses them and makes them go down into the hive, because if you think of in nature, they think that there's a forest fire going on, and so they go down to help survive the forest. And what I do when I'm working with the bees is I get dressed up so I don't get stung. Work with bees. You have to take their top cover off. And then there's an inner cover. And then there are frames where the bees produce the honey and the babies. So this is the bee frame, and you'll see that they've got bee comb on it, and they will be filling all these little 8-sided cells with either honey or with brood, which is baby bees. And there are 10 frames to a box and 2 boxes. And the bees are producing honey and babies within these first 2 boxes. And when it gets full, I add another box and another box and another box. And that's where they produce the honey, which in fall I will take from the bees, the excess honey, and leave them so much honey for them to eat over winter. So bees have to keep the inside of their house, their colony or hive, at 97 degrees all winter long. So I help the bees by wrapping it in tar paper and try to give them additional honey or things during winter so they survive. And again, bees are pretty easy to maintain and keep because they like to be left alone.
Thank you so much, Paul, for sharing your bees with us.
You're welcome.
That was so cool. Who would have thought that bees were so important to the earth? Thank you, Beekeeper Paul, for showing us all your bees. Bees are so helpful, aren't they? One of the ways that we can be helpful back to bees is by giving bees a great place to live that has plenty of pollen. And one of the ways we can do that is by cutting down on the amount of chemicals and pesticides we use in our yard. This week, I want you all to look up the Bible story of the Good Samaritan. It's found in the book of Luke. And I want you all to talk with your families about who in that story was being very kind and who needed kindness. You can look it up in your children's Bible at home, or I'll put a link down below to a video you can watch. Kindness is when we are acting out the love that we feel. Kindness is so important right now. The world can use a lot of kindness, can't it? We appreciate it when people are kind to us, and it's so important when we're kind back to them. This week, I want you to practice being kind. There's a saying that says, in a world where you can be anything, choose to be kind. This week, I want you to get outside and enjoy the insects. See you later.
Your memory verse today is, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. Hasta luego.
All right, repeat after me. Dear God, fill us with kindness and help us make life sweeter for someone else this week. Amen.
Today's blessing is be helpful. Be helpful.